The glory of Lord kwa maisha yenu, mbarikiwe.
Happy New Year, tunawatakia mwaka mpya, mwaka mwema mzuri. Katika mwaka huu wa 2024, tunaamini ya kwamba Mungu atakuwa pamoja nasi na atatufanyia makuu sana. Tutakuwa na baraka za Mungu na Mungu ataonekana. Tunawatakia mwaka mpya mzuri na mwaka wenye fanaka za Mungu. Mungu awabariki sana na tuendelee kumwishia Mungu katika mwaka huu wa 2024.
This is 2024. I wish all of you a blessed year and in that situation in your life. I pray that tuombe Mungu atubebeshe, atubebe na mkono wake. I wish you well. I wish you all again, and I wish you peace. Peace that comes from God. It's not like peace that comes from man. This is my prayer for you this year 2024. Be blessed.
Happy New Year. Nawatakia mwaka mpya, mwaka njema. I hope mmeanza mwaka vizuri na muendelee kutazama EBN TV Transforming Your World. Na mkiendelea na mwaka, msisahau kuweka Mungu mbele kwa matendo yenu, kwa plans zenu za mwaka, na mtaona changes katika maisha yenu.
Indeed, we receive all those great New Year wishes, and I also wish you a prosperous one. Now, in the same spirit of New Year's, the infamous Old Mutual Towers building began to showcase fireworks after midnight during the ushering in of the New Year 2024. Later, smoke engulfed the air and huge flames could be seen from the building. The incident comes hours after the government had instructed Kenyans to adhere to the regulations within the Explosives Act during the New Year celebrations to prevent accidents. It is believed and it is confirmed that nobody was hurt during the fire incident. Now, worse news, 7 people have died after the matatu they were traveling in crashed along the Nakuru-Eldoret Highway on Sunday morning. Nakuru Level 5 Teaching and Referral Hospital Deputy Medical Superintendent Emmanuel Sinei said they received 19 casualties at the facility from the scene of the accident. Dr. Sinei said 7 died on the spot, while 12, 2 being female, 10 males sustained serious injuries and were being treated at the hospital. 3 of the victims were admitted to the ward with multiple injuries, including fractures and head injuries. 3 others needed emergency and immediate surgery to save their lives as they had severe head injuries, while 2 male patients have been treated and discharged as they suffered tissue injuries.
Ajali ya leo haingetokelezea kwa sababu hii gari ilifail brake huko juu na ikakuja ikiwasha mataa, imefail brakes. Imekuja mpaka hapa roadblock, polisi wenye wako hapa wamesimamisha matatu. Nimepoteza hata mtu wangu mimi. That is why I'm very bitter. Naomba Kindiki mahali huko, please. Ulisema roadblock, hakuna. Hii roadblock ini ya emergency gani every day?
Sasa hii kitu imefanyika jameni. Hii ni huzuni. Wamama wametoka wakienda soko. Hii gari ilikuwa imebeba wanabiashara, wanaenda kuchukua mboga zao wakuje wauze. Mama mboga sasa hii amekufa. Tutasaidiwa aje? Watoto wao walikuwa wanawategea nyumbani. Sasa hii wamebaki mayatima.
Wakati tunafunga mwaka, ni ajali ambayo inatuletea maafa sisi watu wa Nakuru West na Kenya nzima. Wakati ambako serikali inajitolea na inasema ya kwamba tujishunge kwa barabara.
Lori imetoka kutoka juu imewasha taa na polisi wamesimamisha matatu kwa barabara kuchukua pesa. Sasa watu wengi wamekufa, askari wametoroka wameenda barabara ya London huko juu.
Askari akuambia gari yenye alikuwa anaitisha hongo iondoke, angeiambia iondoke ikawachota kutoka nyuma. So askari ndiye amesababisha.
Kuna watu walikuja sio kusaidia, lakini wakavuja lile lori na wakaweza kuanza kupora mahindi kwa sababu ilikuwa imebeba mzigo wa mahindi, Tumeweza kudhibiti hiyo hali na diposa mpaka saa hii tunagojea tuweze clear everything ili barabara iwe passable.
7 of those were fatalities that occurred at the site, and the bodies have been transferred to our morgue. So 12 of them came to our casualty for medical attention. Most of our victims had either fractures or head injuries. So 3 of those have been sent to the ward for further surgical.
And on to messages of goodwill, President William Ruto on Sunday led the nation in ushering in the new year 2024 from State House, Nakuru. In his speech, the head of state pointed a finger on the opposition for jeopardizing the government's agenda. Speaking in his New Year's message, President Ruto accused his political rivals of derailing and sabotaging the delivery of public programs. The president underscored his achievements, highlighting several policies, programs, and strategic interventions aimed at delivering the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Is the year we decided to stop wastage and extravagance, instead opting to live within our means. We decided to cut expenditure by up to 400 billion shillings so as to reduce our borrowing. We decided to enhance our tax revenues by Kenya shillings 600 billion to fund our programs and development so as to safeguard our sovereignty and independence. We certainly cannot be independent if we are enslaved by monumental debt, as has been the case. We take pride in the strides we've made as a nation. We have triumphed over the threat of economic stagnation and are now in secure space with regard to our sovereign debt obligation. For the first time, my Mama Mboga and Boda Boda friends will now have a chance to own a home in our Kenya shillings 4,000 a month, 3% interest rate tenant purchase scheme.
And as we go into 2024, we look to even better times. So Your Excellency, we want to encourage you. We want to urge you to stay focused.
You have worked so hard that you have finally stabilized the economy of this country. So we are excited as we get to 2024 because you have placed the country ready for takeoff.
Moving on, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has urged Kenyans to help keep hope alive and work hard to disabuse the country of wrong policies, greed and corruption. In his New Year message, in a statement on Sunday, Musyoka said that 2023 had been a challenging and overwhelming year for many Kenyans who had suffered from the Kenya Kwanza regime's violent crackdown on peaceful protests and the effects of the El Nino phenomenon. He accused the government of being in denial, confused, disorganized and failing to disburse funds in the counties in time.
Fellow Kenyans, as we bid farewell to 2023, a year that has been both challenging and at times overwhelming, because we saw loss of lives of Kenyans who were exercising their democratic rights to demonstrate, to picket. Overwhelming. They were overwhelmed to their graves. But the year has also seen the El Nino phenomenon visited on us again. The elements could not take orders from those in authority because they proclaimed there will be no El Nino. And in fact, even the disbursement of the funds to the counties, they seem to prevaricate, they seem to be confused. As we welcome 2024, I wish fellow Kenyans God's own blessings. Whether we are Christians, Muslims, Hindus, or Kenyans, wherever you are, please keep hope alive. We have only one nation, our motherland, Kenya. Let's work hard to disabuse the country of wrong policies and greed and corruption and hold together, as it were.
Still messages of hope. Central Organization of Trade Unions, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has urged employers to increase the salaries of their employees in 2024. Atwoli said the new year will not be the same as Kenyans have lost their purchasing power due to the poor economy, as it requires a lot of panel beating. He further added that as a responsible trade union in the continent and the world, the body will ensure the workers double efforts to ensure they supplement the work that they are doing.
I want to promise our employers and those who have employed our workers that it is our duty as usual as a responsible trade union movement on the continent, Africa and in the whole world, that we will redouble our efforts in our various places of work to make sure that we supplement to the efforts that are being made by various people, various Kenyans, serious Kenyans, to change our economy, to grow our economy, to spur economic growth, and hence get benefits out of it. But also, as we redouble our efforts in various working places, we need to be compensated by our employers and government on the hard work Kenyans are trying to display. That is our policy, and I want to assure workers we are alert and we are not going to abandon a worker, or our affiliates are also alert that we must do something to improve our terms and conditions of service of our working people in this Republic of Kenya. We have suffered 2023, we don't expect to suffer 2024. And we are together, and we are not so competent to tell Kenya Kwanza government that this is how you are supposed to run the country. It is their entire responsibility to run the government and for the betterment of our Kenyans, and more so for workers.
Now, before we wrap up the celebrations for the new year, indeed, Japan is in a somber mood after experiencing a heavy earthquake. It is now believed that this earthquake has been caused by an incoming tornado. The speculations have not yet been confirmed, and once we get the full information, we shall be bringing it to you live right here from EBN TV. Moving on, there was no money lost at Kimwarere and Haror, and if any was stolen, let the investigators tell us where the money is from. So said Henry K. Rotich, former cabinet secretary for the National Treasury. The former leader said that stealing 63 billion was not factual and it was purely a political witch hunt. Rotich said that those who said that he stole the money were unable to prove it, and according to him, all systems are well stipulated to prevent loss of money from the Treasury. Rotich was speaking during a Thanksgiving ceremony organized in his home, where several dignitaries were present, led by Uasin Gishu Governor Jonathan B. The former Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago was also present for the event.
The 4.5 years was not easy, both myself and the family. And we thank God that all this is now behind us. It was a standstill time, which you can't do anything, but at least now we have been freed and we can start rebuilding our lives again. I've been doing my own private things now, and I'll continue to doing that for as long as nothing changes, and we have a life to live. The most important thing is what has happened has freed us to get us to take advantage of other opportunities that may happen going forward.
Do you think it will?
I think every Kenyan knows that by now. It was unfortunate that we can politicize such kind of thing. But as I mentioned here, we know the schemers, but we have forgiven them. They didn't know what they were doing. You know, when you are given some position, you get drunk with power and you forget that one day these are public institutions. You'll leave it the way they are. I don't know. I said, if money was lost, the people who are doing the investigation to tell us where it is. Because they are not able to say where it is, so they can't answer that question, by the way. So you put, and you guys have been writing this. I don't know who tells you it was lost. You go and ask the guy, they can't tell you. Ask the people who investigated this, they don't know, they can't tell you where it is.
Kiharu legislator, who's also chair Parliamentary Budget Committee, Ndindi Nyoro, has come out strongly to rubbish move by Azimio to revive the countrywide demonstrations. Speaking while at Kahuro Stadium during the World's Football Championship, Ndindi said that Ruto's government won't be shaken by threats by the opposition, saying that they have no fear of the demonstrations. The legislator said that the government is giving attention. The government's attention, is aimed at the betterment of Kenyans and cannot be divided by some leaders who have selfish moves. Ndindi Nyoro also spoke hope to Kenyans, stating that Kenyans should expect good things come the year 2024 as the government has laid in proper plans to better the economy.
We have come here to celebrate the talents of the young people of Kenya. We are in Kahuro Stadium here in Kiharu, and as you can see, uwanja imefurika kwa wanayuthi wa hapa Kiharu, na hata kuna wengine wanja wa Kiharu ambao wamekuja kusherehekea vipawa za the youth of Kenya. We have been having this league funded by Kiharu NGCDF for the last many weeks, na tuliweka katika December holiday kwa sababu tulikuwa tunataka hata wenye wanafuga shule washiriki katika hii michezo, na hiyo inafanya maneno ya wanayuthi kuingia katika zile njia zinaweza wapoteza iende chini. And you have already witnessed that here in Kiharu. The incidences of young people engaging in activities that could be harmful has come down, na hiyo ndio ilikuwa maono yetu tukipanga hii league. Na pia tumekuwa tukipanga hii league so that tuweze kuona talanta ambazo tunaweza kuza hapa Kiharu. Na tunafurahi sana, most of the teams zimeshiriki katika hii league, tumepewa uniforms na all of them tumewapea mipira, na ndio maana tumekuwa tukiona katika hii holiday the young people of Kiharu have been engaged in constructive activities. Na leo katika hiyo harakati nimeona wale watu wa opposition wamesema ati wanarudi kwa maandamano. Lakini kama maandamano ni kitu ya muhimu sana, wewe una announce kuna maandamano, ukuja na familia yako mkae hapo mbele kwanza. Na ujue uandamane juu ama chini. Hii serikali sio wale ulitisha ukapewa handshake, sio ya ile wale ulitisha ukapewa mkate nusu. Hakuna kitu tunakupea, kwa sababu we are focused into changing our economic status as a country, and we have no time to engage in selfish politics ambayo ni ya mtu binafsi.
And now, our esteemed viewers, we want to take a look at the sports. Now, today we're going to feature some of the sporting events that have happened due to some cups that have been voluntary by our leaders from various areas. This is sports. Welcome. Kwale leaders have been challenged to focus on supporting initiatives that nurture youth's talent by working together and ensure the population is free from drugs and criminal activities. Sporting activities has been identified as one of the areas that youths can benefit a lot if the leaders pull together resources and support talents. The sentiments were made at Showground in Ikunda, Kwale by leaders from the area during Msambweni MP Faisal Super Cup second edition competition, where over 50 teams were involved, with the Real Junior emerging the champions and bagged 400,000 Kenyan shillings by scoring 4-0 goals against Generation FC. First runners-up Generation FC bagged 200,000, third runners-up bagging 100,000 and 50,000 respectively for each team that participated. During the tournament, 4 players were taken by KPLC to join various teams in the National League.
Kuna wachezaji 4 ambao wameonekana na hawa technical team yangu ya kutoka Bandari. Mheshimiwa atapatiwa majina hapa na watakuja kule Bandari wafanye trials, tuwaone kama wanaweza, kama jogoo wa shamba na wika mjini ama ni wa huku kijijini. Tufanye kazi pamoja. Mheshimiwa Faisal akiweka tournament, watu wakuje wamuunge mkono. Mambo ya kugawanyana siasa bado, siasa itafika wakati wake, watu watafanya siasa. Lakini kwa sasa tuache haya mambo madogo madogo ambayo yanaendelea hapa Kwale. Mimi nikija hapa nimekuja kwa sababu ya michezo, sikuja kwa mambo mengine, lakini naona sasa hapa mambo yameanza kuchemka mapema na siasa itafika wakati wake.
Tutaendelea kuenua hivi vipaji vyenu. Tutaendelea kuwasupport kwa sababu talanta ni ajira. Nataka vijana wa Msambweni tushirikiane, tufanye kazi pamoja, na sisi kama viongozi wenu hapa mashinani tumeungana kuwalinda nyinyi vijana wetu ili muzingatie na tukuze zile talanta mulizonazo.
Mimi ninafurahi sana kuona kwamba vijana wa Msambweni wameweza kutambulika, wameweza kuwezeshwa na kupewa fursa kuonyesha vipaji vyao. Na sisi kama viongozi tunasema talanta ni ajira, na safari hii ndani ya uongozi wa Mheshimiwa Faisal akisaidiwa na Super Senator Wakili Chimera, hii ndio kazi tutafanya hapa Kwale County.
And finally, Alego Football Club are the champions of this year's Warrior of Siaya football tournament that was organized by city lawyer Willis Otieno. Alego FC emerged winners after beating Game FC 4-2 in the penalty shootouts that was occasioned by a barren draw in the finals, which were played at the Siaya KMTC grounds on Sunday evening. Speaking during the presentation of awards, patron of the Warrior football tournament, Advocate Willis Otieno, revealed that the tournament, which brought together teams from 8 clans across Siaya County, aimed at identifying and nurturing sports talent amongst the youth. He revealed that next year the tournament will be expanded to cover the entire region of Luo Nyanza, whereby each county, including Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay and Migori, will produce their warriors who will compete to produce the real warrior of the Luo nation. The tournament brought together Alego, Gem, Usonga, Sakwa, Asembo, Uyoma, Yimbo and Ugenya clans that all received cash awards of 20,000 Kenyan shillings and uniforms, with the winners receiving 100,000, a trophy, runners up 70,000, and the second runners-up, Usonga FC, got 50,000 Kenyan shillings.
Today we had a tournament that we are calling the Warrior of Siaya. And that Warrior of Siaya was a competition between all the clans of Siaya, from Uholo to Ugenya to Game to Alego to Uyoma to Asembo to Yimbo to Usonga. And today the winners of today is the clan of Alego. They are now the warriors of Siaya, the reigning champions. But next year we will have another contest where we will choose who is the real warrior in Siaya, and that warrior will go and battle it out with other counties, the warrior of Kisumu with the warrior in Homa Bay and with the warrior in Migori. We will find the real warrior of the Luo Counties region. But on the national front, Kenya Kwanza has failed our people. The economy of this country is in doldrums. We are facing serious challenges. Debt is a problem and their solution is to overtax the people of Kenya. And we are going to tell them in this coming year, you will not overtax us. You must reduce the cost of living. And if you don't, the people of Kenya will have their day with you, and they shall tell you, Zakayo, you must come down. As you are coming down, for me as Willis Otieno, I have offered myself that I will run for the position of Deputy President, and my competitor is Rigathi Gachagua. Between Willis Otieno, Piki Ponki, and Gachagua, who deserves to be the Deputy President of this country? And the people have unanimously said they deserve a better leader. And that leader for deputy is one and only Willis Otieno, Piki Ponki, Paka Mielo Disco.
And that marks the end of today's bulletin. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. It has been a privilege to have me do my first bulletin this year, 2024. And for the first time in the year, allow me to wish you a good night full of God's blessings, peace, and beautiful dreams.